Welcome back to Degenerates. Morgan in the host chair tonight. I'm here with Billy as my co-host. We're also bringing in a future potential degenerate, a baby degenerate, if you will. He's still in the embryo stage. Jared, a.k.a. J. Philly the Kid on Twitch. We've been friends with this kid for years, myself going back to college years. Billy, how long have you known this shithead?
I don't know, going on 4 or 5 years now.
God, I'm sorry for you. It's the worst 4 or 5 years of your life. I've been stuck with him for nearly 10, and I just can't get rid of him. Can't shake him to save my life. But we're the original Veronica 283, so we represent Alvernia. Tonight, special pod tonight. We are bringing you a new series, mini-series, long series, depending how long it takes Jared to figure it out. The birth of a degenerate. Today, going forward in this little mini-series, we're teaching Jared how to gamble. He sees Billy and I gambling. He sees us winning. If you follow Betting the Diagonal, you know that I'm the best NBA guy. Billy is the best college basketball guy. We have a third guy. He's not really good at anything. So we're going to let's try to teach Jared to see what he does. So tonight's first episode, we're going to cover what the spread is. We're going to cover what the over – shut up, Siri. We're going to cover what the over-under number is, what they're used, the money line. We're going to let Jared make some picks, see what he thinks for some of our divisional games or our conference championship games this weekend. How do you lose all your money? How do you avoid being like Billy and losing all your money? How you be more like me and win more money? And whatever else, we're going to shoot the shit. So, boys, I'm excited. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I'm sorry, Billy. I just want to say something, all right? About last week's NFL games. He says, don't put it on Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams scores. Everyone that I want to put money on, they all scored.
Lamar Jackson didn't score.
No. Lamar Jackson didn't score. Okay,
so let's just set the record straight before we get too far off.
But Stephon Diggs scored. You said, no, don't put it on. So I listened to him, and I lose money. Just want to say that.
Let us set the record straight here on your experience of gambling. Last Super Bowl, you bet on Kansas City, and when I gave you a ride, you told me you bet on Kansas City, and we got to where we were gonna go watch the game. You decided, hey, I'm gonna bet on Kansas City again, and he was living the American dream. He was sweating it out with the boys for the first time.
Yeah, it's exactly it. There's no better feeling than sweating it out with the boys in AC around the book and just watching all the games or anything, or sitting with the boys on Skype at 2:00 in the morning watching the Sichuan Blue Whales play in the Chinese Basketball Association. Let's go, baby. Blue Whales all day.
Yeah,
watching the Ducks. Go Nucks, baby. We're now Vancouver Canucks fans. We got the win last night. You know, there's nothing better than that. We want to share that with Jared. This is the guy right now. He thinks a teaser is just a Marvel trailer for a video. Like, he doesn't know anything that's going on, but we want to help him. We want to help you guys, and he just happens to be our guinea pig.
I heard that there are body parts involved, legs, something like that. You know, like, and hey, last week my legs, they weren't kicking. They weren't kicking like I wanted them to. So, yeah, I'm here to learn and win big and end up on VR betting Instagram.
The guy who sends out the, hey, Morgan, I want to play a 17-way player touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
We got to cut that sucker down a little bit. So let's get into we're starting to get into some of these little pieces. All right, shut up. Mute him. All right, so let's get into the first thing, the spread. Let's talk about the spread. Jared, what do you think the spread is? And it's not that butter that you put on your toast.
Butter. Spread. I think it's the money that you put throughout the bet. So you gave me like an even amount of money towards all of your bets. Spread.
Nope.
Yeah, spread. No. Fuck.
Not quite
close. You know what a spread is currently? Not what I was covering.
Everyone watching, our fans of Betting the Diagonal, our viewers who've been watching us for a while, our new people coming in here from Jared's Twitch, wherever the heck you're coming from, to take a look at us. Billy's having a rough day. Billy is the epitome of highs and lows. He goes from having an amazing day yesterday, one of the best we've had as a show, to arguably one of the worst days today. Tomorrow, he'll bounce back. He'll come back with a banger. Saturday, he might go back down. We don't know. We're going to see. We're going to hope that Jared maybe comes up with some great picks here that, maybe we want to tail Jared's picks for a little bit.
Hey.
Probably not, but maybe.
Some of my picks hit. Some of them hit.
All right. So
how was perfect picks, Billy? Fun,
I lost
right?
by one. I lost by one.
Fun. Love it.
The spread. All right, Jared, ready for this? The spread is the point differential in the game. So tonight we had your New York Knickerbockers going up against the Golden State Warriors, correct?
Winning right now, 46-39,
Okay.
Bobby 47.
So the
46-39.
Warriors opened up as a 4.5 point favorite in that game. That 4.5 points, that is the spread of that game. The Knicks then in turn are getting 4.5 points to their final score if you take that bet right there. So if the final score ends up being 121 to 120, the Knicks got an extra 4.5 points off the spread. They will in turn have won the game, even though in the box score they technically lost.
Yes. So the way I explain it, because that sounds a little complicated.
Thank you.
So say it's a 4-point spread.
Okay.
So you remember you asked me the other day what the plus and minus meant?
Yeah.
The plus is the underdog, so they are not the favorites to win. So the plus spread means that when the game is 0-0, the game is actually 4-0 in the favor of, say, the Knicks.
Okay.
So what needs to happen for you to cover the +4 is they just cannot lose by more than 4 points.
4 points.
And the vice versa with the other way. You're
They
a 4-point
can't win.
favorite, they have to win by more than 4 points.
4 points. Okay. See,
so each game, every single game is going to have its own spread. Not every single one is going to be in a 4.5 point spread. Tonight, the Lakers and the Bucks played each other, and the Lakers were +1 underdogs to the Bucks. Thus, they were getting one additional point at 0-0. So when I'm watching a game like last night, I was sweating out the Sixers-Bucks game because I had the Sixers -4.5 to win the game. And when I'm watching the score and the Sixers are losing by 6, to me, they're technically losing by 11 because I need at least to make up those points for me to take back the spread so I'm in the money again. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Right, so what we'll do going forward is I'll be the more educated response, and Billy's going to dumb it down for you because you need that, and he understands you better than I do.
Yes, please, and thank you.
So, ready? What the current score of the Knicks game is 46-39.
Yes.
So the real score, if you're a gambling man, is 50-39.
39.
Yes.
Okay, I get that.
It's a little bit easier to explain with football. That's kind of why I just wanted to talk about the football games to start off with, because it's easier to count the points.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go into what these things are. And at the very end, our last little bit before the end of the segment we'll talk about the games this weekend, the Chiefs-Bills and the Packers-Bucks games. We're going to look at the spreads together. And you're going to explain to us kind of what that spread is and where you kind of think you lie on that spread. Make sense? Comprende?
Makes sense. Yep.
All right. Next one we're going to go over to kind of teach you a little bit about basic gambling 101. The plus minus. Now, Billy went into this a little bit, but we're going to test you even a little bit more. If I have a +4.5, what does that mean?
That means that if you have a +4.5, that means that they can't lose by 4.5 or something like that. Or is it that they have to win?
If I'm giving you +4.5, it means pretty much before you get to McDonald's, you already have 4.5 Big Macs. So you're already starting out with an advantage, right?
Yeah.
If we go up to order then, and we each order 4 Big Macs apiece, right now you have 8.5 Big Macs by 4.
8.5 Big Macs. All right.
So
I get
if
that.
if I'm -4.5, then let's try this again. -4.5, go.
Then I'm already behind 4.5.
Exactly. Very nice. Billy, would you like to chime in on that?
No, that's kind of perfect.
I'm more of a McChickens guy. That is my DraftKings account name too. Mad McChickens.
Let's talk about the Big Mac, a little bit McGangbang action. Ooh. That's right up Jared's alley. It's one of his favorite things. It's one of our go-tos from the college days, a little late night action. Ooh. All right, moving forward, we're going to talk about the money line. So, Jared, before Billy and I go into Professor Mo, what do you think the money line is?
Okay. Isn't money line like they have to win?
Where did the money?
It's
money. Exactly.
It's basically win or lose.
Correct.
Okay.
So today I had Rutgers money line and they didn't win. So I lost.
The money line is a
See where that's going?
line, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but we'll tease on it a little bit now. The money line is going to be very valuable to you if you are just so confident in the team winning outright. Right tonight, I had the Lakers money line also with the +1. All right, I'm going to get the additional point, but I also believe the Lakers are going to win outright. When the spread is at such a minuscule number, last night I had the Clemson money line because they were a +2 favorite. I believe they were going to win outright. Now I got spanked. I lost by about 27 or so, but that was where my pick was sitting, and I had faith in it. So the money line is a team. If you're sitting there, if you're watching the Knicks Warriors this evening, and you're like, "Hell yeah, Knicks tape! Here we go, 3 of the dome, Melo's out there." You might bet the money line because you're just so confident that the Knicks are going to win. If you're not going to bet the money line. Maybe you're going the opposite side. Then you're taking the Warriors are going to win. Then let's see what happens.
Obviously, you obviously take the Warriors to win, though.
I mean, I just took the Knicks to win, so now naturally, they're going to lose.
But if they, as much as
you douchebag.
Naturally, I want you to lose because I'm on the Warriors. So,
I need a win. I need the thing with the money line is if they're an underdog. This is Morgan in the notes. This is what I wanted to explain with the plus minus was. It wasn't the spread number. I wanted to explain to him the money line number. So if you're a favorite, let me pull up the football line just so I have it in front of me. So for a money line, it'll be you have to place a certain amount of money to win a certain amount of money. Of course, naturally, that's how a bet works.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at a line, it says minus 180. The gambling books give you the amount that it would take for you to win $100.
Yeah. Okay.
So minus 180 would mean you have to risk $180 to win $100 because they're the favorite.
Yeah.
So the odds aren't as good. That's like for the Green Bay Packers. If you think they're just gonna win this weekend, that's it. That's what you would bet. But you're risking more than you're winning at the end of the day. Whereas, like, say you thought Tampa Bay was going to win, they're plus 160. So you would only need to bet $100 to win $160 plus your original bet back.
Okay, I get that. I think didn't we talk about this while I was trying to place my parlays, Morgan? I'm pretty sure you did.
We did, but Billy did a significantly better job explaining it than I did.
Yeah, and Morgan bugged me by telling me to put Tyler Higbee. Fucking
that's
parlay
a
Tyler
that's a topic for a different episode.
Yeah.
That's a value player right there.
Prop bets are a different monster.
Yes, you have to look at the value plays then. You can't play every favorite to score a touchdown. You have to play some value picks. But that's maybe that'll be next episode or the episode after that.
Next episode.
That's level 2. That's second grade gambling right there. You're still in preschool. So, Jared, when you're gambling, how do you think you lose your money? How do you think you're going to lose your money? What are you going to do to avoid it? What are some things you might look into to try to avoid that?
You want to research your team up a little bit. See like how defenses affect other players and vice versa. You don't want to just bust a big fat bet out of nowhere and like, oh yeah, like full confidence. Like you feel like that you're on a heater or you're like riding high or something. And you're like, oh yeah, 500 right on the Knicks to beat the Warriors. Don't want to do that. You don't, like you want to have some left over.
It sounds like a personal attack at my gambling strategy.
If you,
I was just about to say that.
if you just make a bunch of random bets, that's like the quickest way to the poorhouse, I feel. So yeah, and not knowing when to stop, not knowing when to say, hey, like you can't just blow past stop signs. I mean, I do that, but you can't just blow past stop signs. Sometimes you just gotta crawl and look around. So yeah.
Like if that happens to me, if I'm having a real bad time, I won't place the bets, but I will write down because I enjoy betting. Like I gamble responsibly. We'll get into it later, like what certain things are, like how, like my outlook on how I gamble versus like, say Greg gambles. Greg doesn't use the same system as I do, so like I never lose my shirt. I make sure of it because I gamble responsibly. Every now and then I don't, just because I like to let it ride. But like it works out for days like today. Like yesterday, I felt very confident in my card. I placed my wager, my unit size, which was like the amount that I bet, went up a little bit, and I did better, and I had a good day. Today, I went back to my regular size bets because I wasn't as confident, and here we are, 1-7. You know, it's a game of swings. Like I see people on the internet blast like these quote unquote professional gamblers because if they have a bad day, but nobody, like everybody has a bad day. If you hit 53% of your bets, you're profitable, and that's all that matters. Another way I feel like you can lose all of your money, and Morgan, this is a direct dig at you, and you know what's coming. You don't bet on your own teams to win. You don't bet on your own teams. Like Morgan has this mistake where he bets on the Philadelphia Eagles every single week. Even though he will write it in like an article that he puts out for FFD. Don't listen to this advice.
Right? It says, "Don't be an idiot. I have a problem. I have to take my team's money line every week."
That's fair, but that is one of the quickest ways to go broke. Like,
especially when you have a 4-11-1 season.
Yeah.
I have never once placed a bet on the Islanders. Is the only team I have full, like, my heart goes to them. Like every other sport, I'm like, oh yeah, but like also like this team, I like that team. Like I grew up watching my little Islanders when I was a little peewee, you know, knowing about as much gambling as you do right now when I was 5 years old. You know,
a little peewee.
Like, betting with your heart will make you lose all your money. So like I suggest
betting with your heart breaks your heart.
Yeah. Like so what are your favorite teams?
The Giants, the Knicks, Liverpool. They lost today at home. It's been how many? I think it's been like 3 years since we lost at home. So, yeah, you know, shit like that. And first and foremost, I'd never bet the fucking Giants. Okay, that fucking shit, that fucking season was a fluke. All right, it was a fluke. It wasn't calculated. It wasn't designed that way. Okay, it was just a fluke. Okay, the Knicks, I don't know why the Knicks are doing this shit right now. I really don't, but I'm not gonna bet on them. Yes. Liverpool's having a super off season. I wouldn't put any money on them. Don't know why. I mean, I guess they're still hungover from winning Premier League. And you know what? I think the Islanders are like the only bet that I can safely make because like I'm not like Billy who like bleeds blue and orange. I love the Islanders. You know, I'm getting into hockey, so of course I could shell out a couple bucks for the Islanders. But I'm not like Billy, who came out the womb, asking for lobsters. Came out the womb, and like half of his head was blue, half of his head was orange. It's
That's
crazy.
Fact.
It's crazy. It's insane, and the Knicks just hit a 3, and they got my hopes up. Those fucking cucks. But anyway,
look, he's sweating on a game that he doesn't even have money on. And
because I'm a Knicks fan.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch me not even staring at my screen because there's a minute left, and I need a win so desperately. You don't want to be in my shoes. You don't want to be in my shoes.
I'm fucking watching this Knicks game. I'm watching fucking donkey Draymond Green over here, trying to argue a call. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Anywho,
take it,
Morgan. As a terrible host that you are.
Sorry, I got very excited, Billy. Billy and I've talked about this on our actual Betting Diagonal podcast, which is going to be filming again shortly after this episode. my Sichuan Blue Whales are playing tonight, so I wanted to get a little something special out there for it. But all right, last thing we want to talk about. Yes, Jared, you don't bet on those teams. Don't bet on your home teams unless you want to lose money, or if you want to lose the money to me, you can do that as well. I love it when somebody's on the opposite side of me. Billy might have just fell out of the chair.
What just happened?
So anyway, my co-host might have just suffered CTE. But Jared, let's talk a little. We're gonna do a little. We saw you fall. We're gonna do one last little thing with you this evening. We're gonna take it to some football games this weekend. All right, we got two big games: Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Green Bay Packers for the NFC title, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC title. Right now, let's talk Packs first, right? Buccaneers are plus 3.5-point underdogs to the Packers in Lambeau. What are you thinking? Where's your thoughts at?
My thoughts are with Tom. I am riding Tom Brady. I don't know why. I feel like that a TB12 method is finally kicking in. He's balling. Tom Brady is balling. He's proven that like there is no cliff. I just feel like the Bucks are clicking. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers with Adams and Tanyan and all of them guys, and like they're already solidified to win. But I just feel like Tom Brady is just Tom Brady, and he's gonna find a way to make it work.
It's a great argument. We talked last week, Billy. I don't know, Billy. I think you were on the Buccaneers this past week. Were you not?
Yeah.
Or were you on the
Buccaneers? You guys convinced me, but like I leaned to +3, but I thought the Saints would win.
That's right. All right. So we did convince him over to it. One of our big arguments is plain and simple. Greg and I both agreed. You don't bet against Tom Brady.
No.
As we go forward with our episodes of this, we're obviously going to learn more information into making your pick instead of just going based off of gut. What's against the spread number? What's the weather look like this upcoming weekend in that game? How's the lines been playing with the over under? Who's scoring the most? Who's doing this, giving up the most yards per game the past 6 games?
Where is the game being played?
Game's being played in Green Bay.
In Green Bay, Tom. Tom played in fucking Boston.
All right, that's fair. It's a fair note. I don't have any complaints or anything.
Yeah, we're not going to give you our opinion on the bet.
Billy and I's picks
we have
will
a whole
come
episode coming
this
up
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Billy and I's picks for everyone who's listening right now will be released with the next Betting the Diagonal episode. Guys, if you're watching this, Billy is sweating out a ton of picks today. He sweat more than he's put into himself today.
Fading in and out.
And if there's any doctors watching this, I know this is going to come out 24 hours later, but Billy might need some help if we see him go down one more time. He's really sweating.
I turned the TV off.
Let's talk about the other last game, Jared. Bills-Chiefs game is going to be played in Kansas City with the Chiefs as a 3-point favorite. What are some of your thoughts?
I feel like it all depends on Mahomes, and I just feel like it's all on the shoulders of Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes comes back and is Patrick Mahomes, this should be a one and done. If not, if he's not 100%, which I feel like he will not be 100%, I feel like this is Josh Allen's time to ball. Simple as that. Him and Stephon Diggs should just ball the fuck out. Like they've been balling the fuck out the entire season. But
it sounds like it sounds like the Bills might be your pick.
I'm not stupid. I'm gonna run with the Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes is on the field. But if not, I'm gonna have to give it to the Forbidden Zone. To Buffalo.
You mean that team that's from New York?
Yep. The only team that's from New York.
They don't count. All right.
Listen.
They don't count.
I'm pretty sure they have more wins than your 2 New Jersey teams put together.
Morgan, I will not accept this Bill slander on my show. I just won't do it.
Either. We have been riding the Josh Allen MVP train since like week 2.
Dude, you have. I've been riding since fucking April.
Yeah. Our very first episode of Betting the Diagonal, I'm pretty sure it was talked about. It's been talked about on the post that we put up on FFD. we've always been on Josh Allen. We will not accept any Bill slander. We are built tough
I
on this
do want to
podcast.
ask Jared a gambling question.
You're built tough. Built
If
tough.
you listening, Jared?
I'm listening.
Okay. If Patrick Mahomes does not play, are the Chiefs still the favorite to win? Will the spread move?
Will the spread move?
Yes.
I don't think that they'll be the favorites to win, no.
So, would it be a smart choice to bet on the Bills today and then say that Mahomes tomorrow says he can't play and they're no longer the favorites to win? Wouldn't it be a better bet to bet them only to lose by 3 or for them to have to win by 3?
For the Bills to win or lose by 3?
Yes, because currently the Bills are 3-point underdogs.
Okay.
So they just cannot lose by more than 3. And I do want to get into something before we close it out, Morgan, about the difference between 3 and 3.5.
Oh yeah, big difference.
I would put it on the Bills to win by 3. Honestly, if they're like Patrick Mahomes is out, Bills win by 3.
That's a terrible bet.
That's terrible.
That's a bad bet.
Why?
Why? Because if you are already confident that it's going to be a close game, and you can say, like me personally, I've been on the Bills bandwagon. I'm not making a bet on this game this weekend because I have money for both of them to make it to the Super Bowl. But if I wanted, I would choose the Bills right now to just win.
To just win in
Ready?
general.
$100 to win 140.
So you money line them,
right? I would money line it, like just my opinion on it. Or when the line moves the other way, because Patrick Mahomes is probably the best player in football, that's a 4 or 5 point change. So you would have to put down $140 to win 100. That's the difference between them needing to win and then them just not needing
blue.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Okay.
So who does he have for the Buccaneers game? I was busy dying.
He has Bucks plus 3.5. I still don't know he has for the Bills and Chiefs game.
Who are you picking for the Bills and Chiefs?
It's depending on Patrick Mahomes, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
You going with the Chiefs minus 3?
I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs. Oh my god.
No. Let him go the Chiefs. That's not a bad bet. Because I would lean the Chiefs if I knew Patrick Mahomes was fully healthy, but he's not.
That's why I keep saying dependent on Patrick Mahomes, and then Dick Ford over here, he has a little seizure. Like, oh my god.
So
this is
what
one of the things you want to know though. When you study your picks, you don't make your picks blind. You study. I just bullied you into making a pick right there.
Yeah.
You need to do your research for it. You need to see what's Mahomes' latest status, right? I'm reading Mahomes' latest status right now. He has one hurdle left before being cleared. He increased his practice regimen today. All signs look to him playing this upcoming week.
Yeah, they said that.
That little second right there, I just did a little bit of research and I learned about that pick. If they clear Patrick Mahomes to play, that spread's going to change most likely. It could go more in the Chiefs' favor.
So the fix was in. You just set me up to look like a fucking moron. All right.
Yes.
Well,
All right. All right. Okay.
Jared, at the end of the day, this is a learning process. You know?
You don't want to just listen to what I say. You want to know what you're doing.
Yeah. Before we close it out, because we're coming up on a half hour, I wanted to keep these short because I knew that none of this was going to happen under half an hour, was the difference between 3 and 3.5 in football, and the difference between 7 and 7.5 in football.
Is those specific numbers?
Yeah, in football. Those.
Yeah, because touchdown field. Okay.
So, the key numbers in football are 3, 7, 10, and 14. Field goals, touchdowns, touchdown, field goal, and a touchdown. So, a lot of the lines you'll see at that point, you won't see 4. Or, if you bet on 4 to win, you're an idiot. Because the odds of that happening are slim. Because you just win by the field goal. Unless you get like a missed extra point. The difference between a 3.5 favorite, I would never, never, never take a 3.5 point favorite. I would either wait for that to move, or just not
play it.
Or just not play it. That's what a smart gambler does. That's not what Morgan does. That's what a smart gambler does. Now, on the flip side, if you have a plus 3.5, that's a great bet. Because they can lose by a field goal and you still win the bet. And
because you have the half.
Yes, because you have the half, which is known as a hook. You'll hear us talk about a hook. That's for later date. We'll get into. I think we'll do some vocabulary next week, just straight up vocab. But the same thing with the regular 3. You can have the 3, and the game end with them winning by 3 or losing by 3, and you just get your money back, which is called a push. Whereas if you're betting on the favorite, like a -3, I'd much rather have the second I see like a 2. If Kansas City Chiefs move to 2.5 favorites, I'm taking it instead of the 3 because there's value in them just winning by a field goal. We'll get more into that. I just wanted to give you that little tidbit before you make your final pick and we close it out. So does any of that information change the way you want to bet the game?
No, I'm still taking the Chiefs.
And you're still taking the Bucks.
See,
he doesn't quite understand. So now we got him confused. Now here's a life lesson. And Morgan, I want to close out with this right here, just because my TV's off and now I can pay a little bit more attention. Always be confident in your bets. I woke up this morning like I had a 10-foot cock, ready to go. I thought these were great bets. I did hours of research last night. I got no sleep. I wanted to make sure I had a good card today so I can take a commanding lead in college basketball on BTD. Turns out I am now no longer winning because I don't know how to gamble.
You just have a 2-inch destroyer now, huh?
Yes, I have.
Welcome to the club.
I'm 2 inches away from a taco. That's what I like to call it. But always be confident, because one of our new favorite sayings at Ben Zagnall is, "It's only money. You're gonna make more of it."
No.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've made a ton of money today. I've doubled my account today so far. It's only money. I could have lost some money, but I doubled my account today.
You'll have highs, you'll have lows, but in the end,
it's only money.
It's just money.
Never gamble what you're afraid to lose. That's always my advice. Never gamble what you're afraid to lose.
So then, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with Tom.
Because you're not 100% sure on the Chiefs.
Stop! I'm 100% on the Chiefs.
We're gonna, before this gets off the rails and this episode keeps coming, we'll come back to this debate again next week. We'll lead off with a little bit more of this to kind of get your brain juices pumping. Jared, do you have any questions or anything about just this preliminary little tidbits of information that we give you? That doesn't have to do with the Chiefs -3 or the Bucks +3.5.
Nothing I can't fucking Google.
All right,
Billy, you guys are just
you'd love
terrible.
To add? No. I'm sorry?
Oh, wait, hold on. I do have something. Okay, I am not just Jay Philly the Kid. I am the originator.
Yes, I sit in there.
I am the namer. I am the scribe of this podcast. All right, Bang the Diagonal. You think that Dick Ford Morgan came up with that? You think that pizza guy Billy came up with that? No, that's Jay Philly the Kid. Follow on Twitch. That's who came up with that. Betting
all
the
right,
diagonal.
Guys, and just like that was the last episode of Birthing a Degenerate. Jared has tried to hijack the host chair and the co-host chair.
I
Billy,
want my props.
A few things you'd like to chime in before we shut this thing down?
No, I hope Jared wins his bets this weekend. Because if he doesn't, he's getting shit on and a nice little life lesson.
Stop.
Maybe you should tune in to tonight's episode. It'll be airing shortly after this airs. of Betting the Diagonal. We're going to be going over both these games in extreme detail. Maybe it'll give you a little advice. Maybe you want to change your bet.
I mean, Billy's been
I
great
don't like this
NFL
tone
better
of
all
voice.
season.
I really don't.
I'm coming off a 4-1 week, I believe, or either 3-1 or 4-1 week in football last week.
No.
Maybe you should listen to us. We're pretty good. We do a pretty decent job at what we do. This is what we do.
I bet.
Yeah.
So, thank you everyone who tuned into this debacle of an opening episode of Birthing of a Degenerate. This went much longer than we expected. We don't anticipate it being this long again. We have to lasso in Jared sometimes. He likes to run amok in the office. He's like a bull in a china shop. We don't know where he's going.
What?
Thank you for Jared, for Billy. This is Morgan. This is Birthing the Degenerate based off of Betting the Diagonal. Signing off. We will see you next week, Degenerates.